Right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Chakodesh. Double honors to our elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who will teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit, and I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And I got a series of videos that we're going to be watching in regard to the current state of the world. You have, many nations that are currently against the whore, aka Babylon the Great. Okay. AKA America. This is the whore that sits on many waters that we're now in real time watching the whole entire world turn against Babylon, which fulfills biblical prophecy. Okay. So you're seeing it in real time, and we're going to play videos of allies that are part of NATO that are now attempting to put tariffs or are putting tariffs on America. Okay. In addition to Canada and Mexico, now you have Europe also imposing tariffs in addition to China and Russia. You have the European Union, portions of their established government is putting tariffs on products coming into America. All right, or I'm sorry, so like products coming from America. Okay, so we're going to start off with a quick precept. This is Revelation 17 and 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Because we're seeing the other nations, they're literally starting to hate America because America is destroying the economy of the rest of the world and destroying the lives of the rest of the world. Okay. So these things are creating major friction. All right. And they're looking at America as the problem. Okay. They're looking at America as the problem, and America is eventually going to see the rest of the world turn against it in a very violent way. Okay. So we're going to start off with, let's see.
The president saw the premier, Doug Ford, make an egregious and insulting comment threatening to shut down electricity for the American people, for hardworking American families. He made that threat. The president saw that and has an obligation and a responsibility to respond accordingly and represent the interests of the American people. So he has made the decision to add a 25% tariff. So now steel and aluminum tariffs will come into effect tomorrow at the rate of 50%.
All right. And, you got all these tariffs, and who does this hurt? It only hurts the people. And as we're seeing prices increase on alcohol, we're seeing prices increase on a lot of food products, a lot of tools and metals coming out of these countries. Okay. So that only hurts the people of America, which is going to cause a civil war.
Dollar approach will be imposing.
All right, hold up. I don't want to watch that one yet.
A 25%.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. This is the one.
With this move, no wonder we're actively trying to go to war with move no on the West with this move. And China just launched the Great Reset on the West with this move. No wonder we're actively trying to go to war with them. Now, while everyone is distracted by the U.S. banking collapse, something much bigger is actually happening right now, if you could imagine that. Yeah, China, Russia, and the rest of the BRICS nations are about to force America and Europe into a corner that they are not going to get out of. All of the signs are there. The data is really troubling. We'll get to a lot of it in this episode. The inflation crisis is getting worse by the minute. And this morning, new numbers out of Finland. Look at this, new inflation numbers that'll make your head spin. 16% inflation, the highest in 60 years. Yeah. How are those sanctions working out for you? Also, new numbers out of Poland this morning, a record inflation, 18%. Can you imagine? If the United States and Europe want their Klaus Schwab Great Reset, they are about to get it, but not in the way that they hoped for. We'll have more on that in a moment. But first, did you know that we are at war with China? Oh, yeah. According to our members of Congress who just got back from Taiwan last week, we're at war with China, so we better get prepared. Here's Representative Tony Gonzalez, who just returned from Taiwan, where we just sent a whole bunch of weapons. What the hell? Who the heck voted for war against China? Did you? I sure as hell didn't. Do these people even understand what they're saying? The deep state is
All right. So you see, a second. All right. So we see, the BRICS nation, you see Russia, they all, China, they're all turning against the U.S. in addition to, the closest allies, the ones that are right off of the border of the United States. All right. So let's go to Habakkuk, the second chapter. And this is Habakkuk 2:2. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but in the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come, it will not tarry. All right. So we're seeing all of the prophecies of the nations turning against the whore. Okay. As I brought up in Revelation, the 17th chapter, you're seeing the nations that are turning against the whore and they're starting to hate America. Okay. You bent down, you decided that you wanted to do whatever with all of these different nations. Right. And now the other nations are looking at you like you have no morals. You have no standard. You have no compass. You're ungodly. You're wicked. All right. And that's how the rest of the world is looking at America now. OK. And they're saying, we don't want your dollar. We don't want your philosophies. We don't want nothing from you. We don't want nothing to do with you. And we're seeing that. And we're seeing even other parts of Edom, Esau, the Edomites, the European Union. OK, they're turning against their own. All right. Canada, all these are Edomites. And you're seeing Edom turn against Edom, in addition to the other nations of Elam, okay, Ham, all right, Moab, Ammon. They're all turning against Japheth. They're all turning against Esau, okay? Everybody's looking at the so-called white man as the enemy of the world, okay? And they're looking at Babylon as the root. And the root needs to get routed out. And that's where we're seeing everything come to pass, because this vision, these things that are happening for an appointed time. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Though it seems like it's taking forever, it's taking some time. When it comes, it's going to hit hard and it's going to hit fast. All right. Behold, his soul which is lifted up. It's not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And Esau's soul isn't upright. Okay. He's a crooked man. Verse 5, it says, yea, though he transgresses by wine. This was the point. His philosophies, all these things that he goes around the world, how he's able to bend and twist and warp his philosophies and his doctrines, to fit certain narratives, just to win over the people. And then he changes things up just to suit his narrative as he gains control, and passing these doctrines of immorality, like homosexuality. All right. and ungodliness, selling defiled food to people, burning out their economies. I mean, this is the devil. Okay? Claiming to be the people that you're not. It says, woe to him that increases that which is not his, and to him that laden himself with thick clay. So all these lands, Elder Malcolm, he said that another brother, he got this from another brother. I can't remember the brother's name, but he said, everywhere that outside of Petra, okay, anywhere that Esau stands, he's on stolen land. Okay, anywhere he is in the world, is land that's not his, that he stole through rape, rob, and murder. All right, and it says, and to him that laden himself with thick clay. We live in a debt-based society, a debt-based system, a system that's based on debt. Okay? So we're at war because everyone hates the whore, right? America, not we, but America's at war because everyone hates the whore. And America's buried in debt, deeply buried in debt. All right? On top of the whole entire system being divided. All right. So this is the president, I believe, of the EU.
Morning. The United States is applying a 25% tariff on imports of steel and aluminum. We deeply regret this measure. Tariffs are taxes. They are bad for business and worse for consumers. They are disrupting supply chains. They bring uncertainty for the economy. Jobs are at stake, prices up. Nobody needs that on both sides, neither in the European Union nor in the United States. The European Union must act to protect consumers and business. The countermeasures we take today are strong but proportionate. As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion, we are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros. This matches the economic scope of the tariffs of the United States. Our countermeasures will be introduced in 2 steps, starting with April 1st and fully in place as of April 13th. In the meantime, we will always remain open to negotiations. We firmly believe that in a world fraught with geo-economic and political uncertainties, it is not in our common interest to burden our economies with such tariffs.
All right. So then now you see so this is another friend starting to become enemies, because a trade war is a war. It's a cold war. Okay. And eventually, as trade wars continue, they go from cold wars to hot wars. All right. And that's the path that they're going down. All right. And then this one. This
Something that the government of Canada, following
now this is
dollar for dollar.
This is Canada. Okay. So now we got the Europe, we got the US, we got the EU, and now we have Canada. These are allies. Okay. Now we just played the news clip of Russia and China putting something together. Okay. So we got Russia and China, who are already known to be on the edge as enemies. Now we have allies that are hitting the US with tariffs. Okay.
Approach will be imposing as of 12:01 a.m. tomorrow, March 13th, 2025, 25% reciprocal tariffs on an additional $29.8 billion of imports from the United States. This includes steel products worth $12.6 billion and aluminum products worth $3 billion, as well as additional imported U.S. goods worth $14.2 billion for a total of $29.8 billion. The list of additional products affected by counter tariffs includes computers, sports equipment, and cast iron products as examples. These tariffs are in addition to Canada's 25% counter tariffs on $30 billion of imports from the United States in response to U.S. tariffs put in place on March 4th.
Right? So as you can see, all of these are countermeasures to what the U.S. is doing to all of these other nations. They're doing it to their friends, the ones that are right there across the border. Canada, New Mexico, Europe, okay? You know, all of these are nations that are ran by Edomites, okay? And yet they're putting tariffs on each other. This is in addition to their war with Russia and China. Okay? So this just shows you where we are in prophecy, that we're here, man. We're here. And, you know, they're about to collapse the system to bring in this new system. All right? So we're going to go to another precept. The book of Isaiah 19:2. It says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, and every city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what we're experiencing right now. We're seeing city against city, kingdom against kingdom, and we're seeing the beginning of a hot war. Okay? Because eventually these people are going to start making a lot other types of alliances against America. All right? That's what's about to happen. They're going to say, hey, America's against us. All right? So let's all gang up and be against America. Because, if America goes to war with a NATO nation, that activates Article 5 of the NATO treaty, which I believe says if an attack against one is an attack against all. Okay? So we're here. We are here. We're in another phase of World War III. All right? And the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right? So, hey, news and prophecy. News and prophecy. Wanted to bring it out real quick. Ended off giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. The next time I say Shalom.